Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Belasco. I am the VP of Sales for Cypheme in the Americas, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. Today, I'm going to give you a presentation on Cypheme's AI Inspector. AI Inspector is an application we developed at Cypheme that will monitor all counterfeiting attempts of our product we call noise print. Noise print is available in a label format and a seal, which is obviously something that seals the opening of a box, for example. This application is used by brand owners and is anti-copy. This particular product is also available for document security applications. In China, we have a client that provided us with a proof of concept. The client's name is Incepta Pharmaceuticals. The product that we're using was a holographic label that was used as a seal to cover the opening of the box, as you can see in the image here. We were provided with a 3-month proof of concept, which the product had a wholesale price of about $125 a bottle. The client is a pharmaceutical client producing a cancer drug. This was the actual application. With this cancer drug, as you may know, there's a molecule inside that gives you reprieve from your illness. As in the case with most counterfeited drugs, typically there's no molecule, and it's a product that's got most likely just a compressed starch, maybe even some harmful ingredients. In this particular trial, as we move forward with them, we actually had a hands-on approach. We work with the local police. We work with the Chinese Anti-Counterfeiting Association. We were invited to the raid on the factory where we provided the evidence. As part of the AI Inspector, we collect all sorts of data, including GPS location. And this is how we're able to find out where these counterfeiters were manufacturing this drug. In this video, you can see them entering the compound where they were counterfeiting this cancer drug. Some of the conditions were appalling and quite dirty. There's a mixing machine, compressing machine, all sorts of packaging, some printing equipment. You can see some of the pigments there. Here's an image of some of the boxes, the counterfeit boxes that they had produced. As in most counterfeiting attempts, counterfeiters will attack the packaging first, and then if there's a security solution, they will then attack that security solution. And in the case with Cypheme Noise Print, our anti-copy feature prevents counterfeiting. We're able to collect a lot of evidence when they make attempts to counterfeit our product, and we can immediately stop that counterfeiting attempt from happening. We can block those labels from being read with the smartphone app, because the counterfeiters will need a smartphone app to read the label to see how close they're getting. So we monitor all of this information and we can block their attempts. This particular trial was for 3 months, and they provided us with 80,000 units per month. We had a strategy in place. The strategy was to not provide an app, but to provide mini programs. These mini programs we offered them were built into their official WeChat account and their official Facebook page, where the consumers would then authenticate through those social media platforms. We're also able to provide a web-based app through a website, through an iframe link to any of our customers' official websites. In addition to that, we don't use QR codes. QR codes are very common nowadays, and counterfeiters will use them to place fake QR codes, for example, on packaging, which can misdirect a consumer authentication to a fake website, which will give you 100% genuine results on fake labels. And this is something that we feel strongly about. We don't use QR codes in any of our applications. We did roll out our AI Inspector with this proof of concept. We used our advanced real-time artificial intelligence to read the Hyper-P ink. In the image on the right here, this is an image of our 14mm diameter noise print feature. This is an anti-copy feature. It's impossible to replicate. And in this particular feature, you'll see the hyperphotometric ink. We call it Hyper-P. This is an ink that's not found on the Pantone system. And in the center, you can see the chemical signature here that's created in a patented process that provides each and every label with a unique fingerprint. In addition to that, we have our own proprietary code, Again, we don't use QR codes, we use a proprietary code, which means that counterfeiters will have to use our application. And that's all part of the overall process and how we catch these counterfeiters. In addition to the Cypheme noise print feature on the right here, there's also a background image. We do use broad photo detail, so we're able to use our advanced AI. Our neural network algorithms are able to detect minor changes in print registration. When someone tries to copy a label, typically there's print registration error, and we're able to pick that up. We do make GPS mandatory, and we record the location when using our app. We record the IP address, and we compile all of this data, location, ID, images, etc., into a file. And that file then is provided to law enforcement agents where they can then make a raid, as you saw in the video earlier. We do also have a counterfeit defense mechanism, which allows us to block the counterfeiters. We stop them in their tracks. We're able to stop that code from reading. I'll explain more in a bit. This is just a brief explanation on the Cypheme feature. Again, I explained earlier, there is a unique chemical signature in the center. Each and every label will get that unique UID. It's a unique identification, much like a fingerprint. We do use Hyper-P, print registration error, all sorts of algorithms are reading this particular feature in a matter of seconds. Our standard feature size is 14 millimeters. And here is the Cypheme web-based app. Now, this is a video showing you how the app works. It's going to go quite fast. I think typically the authentication time is about 7 to 10 seconds, but built into our apps, we do have something called App Assist. I'll explain a little bit more about it later, but essentially what it is, it's a way for you to communicate with a live person in any language. If you see a counterfeit product result on your landing page after you use our app, you can inquire to them about how to proceed, what can they do to protect themselves. These operators are trained, and they will inform the consumer not to take the product if it's showing a counterfeit result. Could be harmful to their health. And that live chat is provided by Talk, T-A-W-K. This is our app where we have an instructional video. Basically pinch the screen to get a bit of a zoomed in image, tap on it to make it clear, then take the photo. Once that photo is taken, it just takes about 7 seconds to authenticate. This is now sending that image to our secure server for analyzing. And again, takes a few seconds. That was a landing page, gives you an idea of what the image looks like. It could give you variable data like batch number, lot number, expiration date. If you prefer to do a static authentication, you could just have a general description about your company logo there, and then of course a web link to direct the consumer to your website, or in this particular case in the video, this took the consumer to a Typeform page, which will then provide valuable consumer engagement information to the brand owner, like their email address, where they bought the product, what their favorite flavors are. And then of course, if there's a problem with the counterfeiting authentication, when a consumer is in the store and they take an image and it does say counterfeit, they can then record or take a snapshot of that image and send it to the brand owner. Again, very valuable data. On this slide, I'm giving you an example of what the dashboard would look like. So a lot of our clients get a dashboard, and on the dashboard, it's a geo-mapping dashboard that shows you real-time information. In most cases, we provide a report on a quarterly basis, but the data typically will show up in red or green dots. If you hover over one of those dots, you'll get a GPS location and a bit more data, which I'll show you on a following slide. This particular 3-month trial, we started out where the counterfeiters were attacking heavily on this product. This particular SKU had almost a 42% counterfeit rate in the market. And towards the end of our 3-month trial, you can see that we significantly reduced the counterfeits there. Part of the AI inspector provides this information like images. And in this particular image on the left here, you can see a genuine noise print feature that a consumer has taken with their smartphone and had processed that through our application. On the image to the right, you can see it looks like a computer screen. If you look real close, probably can't see it in the presentation here in the webinar, but there is Adobe Illustrator open there where it looks like they may be trying to replicate the product. In this case, we can tell it's a counterfeiter. So we would record their GPS location, IP address, and any of those images associated to this attempt to counterfeit our product. Here is a bit more information about the geomapping dashboard that we provide. We do provide these analytics and information like latitude, longitude, GPS location, date and time of the scan. So each and every consumer that uses our application, whether it be on a social media app like Facebook, WeChat, or through your website as an iframe link, this information will then be recorded, and it will push information to you such as that recording data, like images. As you can see, here's an image of the product they actually took in this scan. It does give you the actual tag number. Each and every noise print label does have a code, which will provide the tag number itself. And then if you choose to, you can click on viewing the scan in Google Maps, which is what this image is here on the right. Our counterfeit defense mechanism, as I mentioned earlier, is something where we are able to monitor the counterfeiting attempts and stop the counterfeiters in their tracks. If they're typically counterfeiting a product, they'll work with one label, for example. That one label will have a code, that tag number. We can block that tag number from working. It makes their life difficult. They'll then have to go back out and get another genuine Cypheme label from a product in the store, bring it back to their facility where they're trying to counterfeit it. And then if we find that there is more and more images from this location, we can block the particular tag from scanning. If they get a fake result more than twice, for example, we can block that tag from working. We can take it a step further. We can block their phone from accessing our server. We can even throw a net around the geographic area where these scans are coming from. We have all sorts of ways to stop the counterfeiters from advancing. And as I mentioned earlier, we do assist our brand owner clients in any way possible. A lot of things that we do is awareness campaigns, like social media, advertising, public service announcements, etc. We're able to provide print explanations on packs, in-app notices. For example, if we know that there are some serious counterfeiting issues with a client's product, we can get some of the counterfeit images from either the store or from our app, and we can put them into our app so that the consumer can see what some of the counterfeit products on the market look like. That's all possible with our application. We do also include the app assist, is where if you have any questions when you're using the app, if you have a concern that you got a fake screen, the live app assist chat person will tell you not to take the counterfeit product. They can instruct you on the process going forward, how you can get a refund on your money, and how to report the fake. You can take an image of that fake and you can send it to the brand owner, for example. A lot of the data that we collect, for example, here, from WeChat and Facebook in this particular proof of concept, we got from one particular tag. Here's an example from this one tag number 2112465. We're able to get WeChat and Facebook names in China, and we're able to find out how many times they're scanning. This guy here in Beijing scanned 7 times. We just assumed he might be the leader, or maybe he's the head printer. He's the guy that's job is to try to get the counterfeit working properly. With all of that data, we can put together some sort of a map and give the police a general description of what we think is going on. We can identify online shops, production areas, consumer locations where these scans are coming from. In this particular case, in this proof of concept, we noticed there was an insider in Bangladesh as well. With geomapping, not only do you get the tag real and fake scans and the locations, if there's a problem and you see that the scans are coming from another country nearby or halfway across the globe, you'll see that you have a diversion problem. That's where the track and trace also comes in handy. You can see diversion as well as the real and fake scans. We're able to identify counterfeit rings in Baotao, Beijing, and in Shenzhen. Shenzhen is where we actually had the counterfeiting raid in the video I showed you earlier. That's where we're able to take down those counterfeiters. We took down 18 counterfeiters, actually. This is an actual photograph of the GPS location provided to us with the app. You can see that there's some ventilation there. You can see it's most likely a printing facility, in which case it was. Here's a snapshot of us in particular, Hugo Garcia, our CEO, talking with the Chinese police and the Chinese Anti-Counterfeiting Association prior to the raid. There is a complete video available on YouTube. If you search for it, you can find it. It is in Chinese, so those of you that don't speak Mandarin, you can at least watch the video. It's pretty interesting. So as a final result, with this proof of concept for our customer, we're able to take down 18 counterfeiters. We're able to dismantle the lab in the factory and confiscate 17,000 boxes of fake pharmaceutical products. And most importantly, we saved almost 1,000 lives over this period. Today's snapshot of the product, 89% genuine, 11% fake. If you remember, at the beginning of the proof of concept, they were approaching 42% counterfeit. So it was a huge success for Cypheme. So let me leave you with this. You know, I always like to say, and keep it fresh in mind, that it's important that your customers have faith in your brand, you know, and you want to do everything you can to protect them from fakes and dangerous products. Are you avoiding brand erosion, legal issues, and protecting your company reputation? You currently engage with your customers to produce a more loyal customer. Some of these things are very important to ask yourself. We'd be more than happy to work with you. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You can get me at tony@cypheme.com. I'm located in the United States in the Tampa area. Thank you very much for joining the presentation. I'll hand it off to Jill.